This is the story of the Nkechis, the family where no daughter had ever married. 31 women, 31 beautiful, accomplished, respectful daughters, some now resting in the earth, others still living, all sharing the same fate. Not one had ever worn a wrapper of a married woman. Not one had ever heard the name wife attached to her own. The villagers whispered about it at the market. Mothers warned their sons. Yet the curse was so subtle, so mysterious that no one could name it or fight it. They only knew that any man who dared to seek an Nkechi daughter in marriage would flee in the night, terror-stricken, never to return. But our story truly begins with Adanna, the middle daughter of the current generation, and a morning that seemed like any other. Every morning, as the first light broke through the darkness, the Nkechi daughters would emerge from their compound to perform a ritual so ordinary it seemed meaningless. They would sweep. But this was no ordinary sweeping. In the center of their compound stood a tree, magnificent, ancient, enormous. Its trunk was so wide that 5 men with outstretched arms could not encircle it. Its branches spread like the fingers of a generous spirit, offering shade to half the compound, and its flowers, white as fresh palm wine foam, they bloomed year-round, falling like blessing upon the earth each night. The family cherished this tree. It had stood there longer than anyone could remember, longer than the oldest grandmother's grandmother could recall. They swept its falling flowers with reverence each morning, gathered its leaves with care, and watered its roots with devotion. Adanna swept that morning as she had done since childhood, her younger sister Chidera beside her, her older sister Obioma emerging with the weight of bitterness in her steps. Obioma was 28 and had watched 6 suitors approach, 6 suitors promise eternal love, and 6 suitors vanish in the night. The last one, Chidi, had been different. He had set a wedding date, he had paid half the bride price, he had commissioned a new wrapper for Obioma and carved a stool for their future home. 3 nights before the wedding, he appeared at their father's hut, his eyes wide, with a terror that seemed to come from his very soul. He spoke of dreams, nightmares, of a masked figure that promised death and destruction if he married Obioma. By dawn, he was gone from the village entirely. This was the pattern. This had always been the pattern. Adanna, sweeping the beautiful flowers, looked up at the tree's vast canopy and wondered, as she often did, why such beauty seemed to shadow their lives. But the thought passed quickly, as such thoughts always did. The tree was their family's pride after all. What connection could it possibly have to their suffering?
Into this cursed family's life came Ikenna, son of the village blacksmith. He was strong, honest, and practical, not the type to believe in curses or spirits. He had watched Adanna for months, her kindness to children, her wisdom in settling disputes, her quiet strength that drew people to her like moths to lamplight. This is Tales by V Africa. Please subscribe, like, and turn on notification button so you will be notified when we upload a video. When he announced his intention to marry her, the village elders tried to dissuade him. The neighbor women clucked their tongues in pity. Even Adanna herself warned him, though her heart desperately wanted to hope. I know about your family, Ikenna said firmly, but I also know my own mind. Whatever haunts your household, we will face it together. Papa Nkechi, Adanna's father, had heard such brave words before. He told Ikenna what happened to all the others, the dreams, the terror, the midnight flights. But Ikenna remained unmoved. His love, he believed, was stronger than any curse. The grandmother, ancient and knowing, looked at the young man with sad eyes. "Prepare yourself," she said quietly. "The warning always comes." That very night, as Ikenna slept in his hut, it came. The dream was more than a dream. It was a visitation. A masked spirit, enormous and terrifying, appeared before him. The mask was carved from darkness itself, its eyes burning with red fire. The voice that emanated from it shook the very walls of Ikenna's soul. "Turn away from the daughter of the cursed tree," it commanded. "Her bloodline is bound. Any man who claims her as wife will know suffering beyond measure. Your children will never be born. Your name will die. Your ancestors will weep." Ikenna woke screaming, his body drenched with sweat, his heart hammering against his ribs like a trapped bird. The terror was unlike anything he had ever known. Primal, absolute, consuming. Without understanding why, Without conscious thought, he found himself packing his few belongings. By morning, he too was gone. When Adanna learned that Ikenna had fled, something broke inside her. Not loudly, not dramatically, but like a clay pot developing a crack that would eventually shatter it completely. She did not weep. She did not rage. She simply walked out of the compound alone, something she rarely did, and made her way to the stream that bordered the village. There, sitting by the water's edge, she finally allowed herself to feel the full weight of her family's curse. 31 women, 31 lives never fully lived, and now she would be the 32nd. Why? She whispered to the flowing water. What did we do to deserve this? The stream offered no answer, only its eternal song. It was then that Adanna noticed an old woman struggling at the water's edge. She was ancient, her wrapper torn, her body frail, trying to fill a pot but too weak to manage it. The pot kept tipping, spilling water back into the stream. Without hesitation, Adanna rose and approached. "Grandmother, let me help you." The old woman looked at her with eyes that seemed to see through skin and bone to the soul beneath. "You would help me, even with your own heart so heavy?" "Your burden is physical," Adanna said gently, filling the pot with practiced ease. "Mine is spiritual. At least I can lighten one of them." She not only filled the pot, but lifted it onto the old woman's head, steadying it with care. Then she walked beside her, ensuring she reached her destination safely. A small hut at the very edge of the village that Adanna had never noticed before. "You have a kind heart, daughter of the cursed tree," the old woman said. Adanna froze. "How do you know?" But the old woman was changing. Her frail body straightened. Her torn wrapper became flowing robes of river green. Her aged face grew luminous with an otherworldly beauty. She was no longer an old woman, but a spirit. The water spirit who watched over the stream and all who drew from it. "I have watched your family for generations," the spirit said, her voice now melodious and strong. "I have seen the suffering, and because you helped me without knowing who I was, expecting nothing in return, I will give you what 31 women before you could not find, the truth." The water spirit invited Adanna into her dwelling, which was no longer a hut, but a space that seemed to exist between the physical and spiritual worlds. There, she told a story that Adanna's family had forgotten, though it had shaped their destiny for generations. 5 generations ago, the water spirit began. Your ancestor, a man named Okezi, was this spirit. His wife had given birth to 7 sons but no daughters. In your culture, this was seen as a blessing, but Okezi wanted a daughter desperately. He wanted to know the softness of a girl child's voice calling him father. So he went to a powerful sorcerer who lived beyond the forest. This sorcerer dealt in dark exchanges, bargains with consequences that echoed through time. He told Okezi, "I will ensure your wife bears daughters, many daughters, each more beautiful than the last. Your family will be blessed with girls who will be the pride of the village." Okezi, in his desperation, asked, "What must I pay?" The sorcerer smiled. "Plant this seed in your compound. It will grow into a magnificent tree, the most beautiful in all the land. Tend it well, water it, sweep its leaves, show it devotion. This tree will be the anchor of the blessing." What the sorcerer did not fully explain was the price. He performed a sacrifice at that tree, a spiritual binding. The daughters would come, yes, but their marital destiny would belong to the tree. Every morning that the family swept its leaves, watered its roots, tended to it with devotion, they were feeding the curse. They were maintaining the very prison that held their daughters captive. Adanna's hand flew to her mouth. "The tree, our beautiful tree." "Yes," the water spirit confirmed.
The tree that your family has cherished for generations is the source of your curse. It stands in your compound, drinking in your devotion, growing strong on your care. And as long as it stands, no daughter of your bloodline will ever marry. The masked spirit that terrorizes your suitors is the guardian of this bargain, ensuring that the terms are kept. But why? Adanna cried. What purpose does it serve to keep us unmarried? The sorcerer was bitter. His own daughter had been rejected by every suitor in his village. In his twisted mind, he created curses like this, ensuring that other families would know his pain. Your ancestor paid him, not knowing the true cost, and the sacrifice made at that tree was bound with powerful medicine. As long as the tree lives and is tended, the curse remains. Adanna felt the weight of generations pressing upon her shoulders. How do we break it? The water spirit's expression grew grave. The tree must be destroyed, but it will not be easy. It has grown powerful on your family's devotion. It will resist, and the masked spirit will fight to protect its charge.
Adanna returned to her compound with knowledge burning in her chest like swallowed fire. She gathered her family, her parents, her sisters, her ancient grandmother, and told them everything the water spirit had revealed. At first, there was disbelief. The tree, their beloved tree that they had tended with such care, impossible. But the grandmother slowly nodded, her ancient eyes filling with tears. I remember, she whispered. My grandmother once told me a story about a tree and a bargain, but I was young and thought it was just a tale. Oh, ancestors, forgive us. We've been feeding our own curse all these years. Papa Nkechi stood, his face set with determination. Then we cut it down tonight. But it was not so simple. As the family gathered axes and prepared to approach the tree, the air itself seemed to thicken. The beautiful white flowers began to fall more rapidly, creating a blizzard of petals. The tree's branches swayed, though there was no wind. And then he appeared, the masked spirit, materializing in the dying light, enormous and terrible. The same figure that had haunted the dreams of 31 suitors now stood before the entire family. You dare to break the covenant, the voice boomed, shaking the very earth beneath their feet. Adanna stepped forward, though her legs trembled. This covenant was made through deception. Our ancestor didn't know the true price. We've paid enough. 31 lives, 31 women denied the fullness of their destiny. No more. The bargain is sealed, the spirit intoned. The sacrifice was accepted. The tree must stand. Then you'll have to strike us down, Obioma said, moving to stand beside Adanna, because we are cutting it down tonight.
As Papa Nkechi raised the first axe, the masked spirit howled with rage. The tree's trunk seemed to harden, turning almost to stone. The first blow bounced off, sending vibrations up Papa Nkechi's arms that nearly made him drop the tool. But he swung again and again. The family took turns, each member striking at the tree while the masked spirit raged and threatened. The work was exhausting, supernatural. The tree seemed to fight back, branches whipping down to strike at them, roots rising from the earth to trip them. Adanna, her hands blistered and bleeding, finally paused to catch her breath. In that moment of stillness, she heard voices, faint, as if coming from far away. Women's voices, 31 women's voices speaking in unison. Cut it down. Free us. Free yourselves. They were the voices of all the unmarried daughters, those who had died still bound to the curse, their spirits unable to rest. They were lending their strength, their will, their desperate hope for release. Adanna gripped the axe with renewed determination. For all of us, she shouted, for those who came before and those who will come after. The family attacked the tree with unified fury. And finally, after what seemed like hours, they heard it. A crack. A deep, resounding crack that echoed across the spiritual and physical realms. The masked spirit shrieked, its form beginning to fragment. The covenant! The covenant! It wailed, but its voice was weakening. Another crack. The tree began to tilt. The white flowers fell like rain now, but as they touched the ground, they turned to ash. The tree's magnificent canopy began to wither. The bark that had been smooth and beautiful became corrupted, showing its true nature, dark, twisted, malevolent. With a final earth-shaking crash, the great tree fell. The moment it hit the ground, the masked spirit exploded into 1,000 fragments of darkness that dissolved into the night air. A wind swept through the compound, warm, cleansing, carrying with it the whispered gratitude of 31 freed spirits. And then, silence. The next morning, where the tree had stood, there was only a stump. The family dug it out root by root, bent every piece, and scattered the ashes into the stream, where the water spirit received them and carried them away forever. Word spread quickly through the village. The curse of the Nkechi family was broken. Ikenna was the first to return, sheepish and confused about why he had fled, but drawn back by a love that the curse could no longer suppress. He and Adanna were married within the month, the first wedding the family had celebrated in 5 generations. Obioma married soon after, then Chidera. The daughters who had been trapped in spinsterhood found love and built families of their own.